Welcome back to the Sweet Zoo Talk Show, Cottage Talk, reaching beyond the boundaries of social growth, with your girl Marcia White Ford. Today we have a very important guest on the set of Cottage Talk today, a man that needs no
He has a
introduction.
BSc in international business. He has an MA in diplomacy and international relations, and he also has a BSc in geography and social science.
A man that needs no introduction. Welcome on the set of Cottage Talk today. He now holds a position as the Consul General of Jamaica to Toronto, Lloyd Wilks. Welcome to Cottage Talk.
Thank you.
You're
Glad to be
welcome,
here.
sir. Yes, you're looking sharp as usual.
So are you?
Thank you very much, sir. What was your long weekend like?
It was relaxing. I had a couple of events to do, as you can imagine.
Yes.
But I had a restful Monday.
Yes.
It was divine because I do not have many opportunities to rest. So the long weekend paid out for me this time.
Paid off for you. Okay, so you're all relaxing, chillaxing, and act like you have nothing else to do.
Canada Day seemed to have been fantastic. When
Yes.
I moved about, I could see a lot of activity. People in the diaspora, the Jamaican diaspora, celebrating
Yes.
with Canadians. And of course, they're Jamaican Canadian.
Wow.
So they're celebrating the diversity, really, of Canada. And I really enjoyed it because
Yes.
it made me feel proud
Yes.
to know that our people have contributed so fittingly, so well
Yes.
to this Canadian space, and are still contributing as we speak. Every new immigrant that comes to this country brings with him or her immense talent and resources. And Canada Day was an apt way to celebrate that.
Thank you very much, sir. I must say that we have so much to cover with you today. But for our viewers that maybe don't know that there's a Jamaican, building here, or there's a outlet that actually represents Jamaica, what does the Jamaican Consulate do? For example, some of the services that you offer here for Jamaican that maybe don't know that you're here and
Yes.
how you can help them.
Well, the first thing we do is we protect the interests and welfare of Jamaican citizens. That's our principal reason for being here.
Okay.
We're also here to offer services to Jamaicans and to many different publics.
Okay.
So any person who have some business in Jamaica, something to do with government or private sector or with a private citizen, we are here to support those interests. Now, Jamaicans who require passports, foreigners who require visas.
Oh, you do visas here as well?
Oh yes,
I didn't know
Jamaicans
that.
who work, oh yes, many country nationals require visas to enter Jamaica. And in fact, just to go on with the services, so we do authentication of documents.
Okay.
We do immigration matters. People require Jamaican citizenship. People who require renewal of driving license, advice to Jamaican nationals and to foreigners alike on various matters. And so we're here to support interests that people may have or difficulties people may have in Jamaica or with Jamaicans. We're here diligently serving as best we can. But just to let you know that the majority of Jamaicans in this country
Yes, sir.
are very much devoted to Jamaica. They're very patriotic.
Okay.
It's a patriotism that I think isn't shared by many other country nationals.
Okay.
I am willing to believe that nobody else in the world loves Jamaica like Jamaicans.
That's good to know, because oftentimes we hear how we're Jamaican and we don't love our Jamaican culture, we don't love our,
Oh,
the whole
it's not
thing.
true. I can tell you.
So you can testify to that.
I can, and this is why the long weekend, especially Canada Day, this is why I was so pleased to see Jamaicans bringing to the day their culture and sharing it with Canadians who were born here, their children learning Jamaican culture and Jamaican way of life and learning to appreciate the cuisine, the music, and everything. And that being done in a Canadian space, shared by Canadian and people of other ethnic backgrounds, was an amazing thing. So yes, Jamaica love their culture, and in fact it's so infectious that many people of other nationalities yearn to learn and understand
Jamaican.
our way of life, our music, our dance, our food. Being Jamaican is a very special thing for me, and many Jamaicans feel that way. We're strong in character, very assertive as a people, very talented. You know, they say we're little, like an island, but with talawa.
That's so true.
So we are just like our island. It produces amazing products, but it also produces amazing people. You know, so I was very pleased to see all of that on display.
Yes.
On the long weekend. And looking at our services, we gladly offer services to our people because they are special.
Yes.
Jamaica treasures its diaspora. We treasure our people abroad just as much as we treasure our people at home.
That's true.
It's one big family.
That's true. Wow. Mr. Wilks, you know, I was looking at your bio and I see that you're studying in London.
Yes.
What was that experience like? Because I'm actually trying to wrap my head around all the, what did I say, as my daughter said, the brains that's in your brains. What was that experience like? Because
it was great. But you know, the good old saying, no one better than yard. So I start my studies in Jamaica.
Okay.
I went to high school in Jamaica. I went to Kingston College. And of course I went to University of the West Indies, both of which were amazing experiences. So my first degree was at the University of the West Indies. That's where I got my grounding.
Okay.
I was posted here first, in fact, in 1990. And in 1990 I was here as Consul for 3 years before I was sent to London, England, on promotion. And whilst I was there, I spent 6 years in England at that time.
Okay.
And so it gave me the opportunity to go to school. And I was fortunate enough to do 2 master's programs, which I had to do simultaneously because of the time I had. So I did both of them pretty much at the same time. And again, I was lucky to have good professors and good tutors, and so I was successful in completing both of those. I actually did law whilst I was there as well.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, so I studied quite a bit.
What was that experience like?
It was interesting. You know, I found it helpful, very, very helpful. The English are different from Canadians. They're different people. That environment is also different, the atmosphere. In fact, for the most part, London is a little bit overcast most of the time, and quite wet and damp. Whereas in this country, you get brilliant sunshine, and it's not as overcast, even in winter. And so, even just in terms of the environmental conditions, it's very different. Again, Canadians tend to be very much more open, and I think it gives, in this country, people the opportunity to express themselves in terms of their cultural diversity. In England, while that is also true, I think you have to assimilate much more rapidly before you can succeed in a society like that one. Whereas here, even if you just arrive, you can find your feet faster. It's a younger immigrant country. And so I think the appreciation for immigrants, which is a necessity. So this country needs immigrants. So without immigrants, this country would not do very well. It's a vast landmass which require people to populate it and to, create opportunities for trade and commerce and.
We're going to get into that because I understand that you're an expert in trading and all of these things in international trading, right? But we'll get to that. Just hold on. You mentioned law. What level of law did you study in England?
What I did was I did go to the conventional law school. I did law in a conventional law school actually, but I did 2 years, which would have allowed me, instead of doing 4 years in the law school, I did 2 years, and I got credits for the other studies I'd done before. So I needed to have done, in addition to those 2 years, I should have done an apprenticeship period in a law firm. But I did the 2 years, but I didn't do the apprenticeship period.
So were you looking to go for a solicitor or a barrister? What area were you trying to go?
I was going to be a solicitor.
Oh, nice. So you're going to give you a lot of wings to move around.
Yes.
Why I bring that up? Because I love law myself, and I started the same program but I didn't have enough strength and baggage to complete it. So that's an area that I myself would love to venture in the near future.
It helps me in my current job because I mean, no study is a waste.
That's true.
Any type of knowledge you can gain is always helpful because it complements your life. It complements your ability to engage young people, to engage anybody. And in fact, all your experiences help to shape you into an individual that the good Father wants you to be.
That's true. That's true.
So no experience for me is a waste. Even if it's not a brilliant experience, it does add to learning.
That's true. You learn. So before you get this position that you now hold, I understand that you were working in the diaspora and you held a very big position there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It was a modest position, but I was director of the Diaspora and Consular Affairs Department.
Okay.
In fact, that department has now been turned into a division.
Okay.
So now it's the Diaspora and Consular Affairs Protocol Division.
Okay.
In the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. So I, whilst there, of course, it was an exciting period of time. We were able to work with our nationals abroad. We were able to start the development of a diaspora policy. We were able to shape the engagement process between Jamaicans at home and Jamaicans abroad. We were able to bring investment by Jamaicans abroad into the discourse. And you know, we had conferences and so on with Jamaicans abroad and Jamaicans at home, which included government and private sector. So we developed, whilst I was in that post, a very interesting and perhaps even unique forum for consultations between those entities. And I think we produced a very good working relationship and developed an understanding as to what from that process. And now we're going to have a conference in Jamaica this year, because held over 2 years. It's a centerpiece for the engagement between Jamaicans at home and Jamaicans abroad. So we're going to have this conference. It's called the Jamaica 55 Diaspora Conference. It's between the 23rd and the 26th of July.
This month.
So those persons who are thinking of traveling to Jamaica, it's a good month to do it.
Yes.
It's being hosted, in fact, right near to Independence. Kingston. Kingston is celebrating its 145th year as a city.
Wow, 145th year?
As a city.
That's Kingston, Jamaica.
Kingston, Jamaica.
Wow, that's something new to me, because I'm a Jamaican, I didn't know that.
Yes, so you know, people will be clamoring to celebrate that. Emancipation Day on the 1st of August. So people will also be celebrating that.
That's true.
And Independence Day, of course, on the 6th. So it's right in the middle of a period when there will be great festivities celebrating our independence as a people, our achievements. It's a good time.
Wow. So from your experience with trading, you know, what would you like to see more of people? Because I know we do, even though we're such a strong people, or we have that bond of unity, we still struggle in some areas. Like when it comes to trading, we have a lot of things that Jamaicans should be sending out that are being imported into Jamaica. What advice would you give to somebody that, you know, that's in Jamaica, maybe watching this interview, you know, and want to keep farming, or how can they, you know, get more involved in trading and know that they're actually doing something for their country?
Well, that's a very good question, because there are a lot of people who are doing lots of interesting things for Jamaica.
They are.
Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica in the area of trade, both in goods and in services. There are a lot of people who are farming in Jamaica, all over Jamaica, doing ginger and pimento and, you know, sorrel and lots of interesting things, bananas and plantains and coffee and cocoa. And that sort of investment is still desperately required. The government of Jamaica right now is putting in a number of initiatives, including agri-parks, supported by irrigation. In fact, just yesterday I read where the Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture was announcing massive farm in Manchester and St. Elizabeth, where immigration to support thousands of acres of land is being made available to people to farm. And so government is also putting in place other initiatives through RADA, Rural Agriculture Development Agency, through PATH, the PATH program, encouraging local farmers to invest in farming. Where I think, and they're also encouraging agro-processing. So where a lot of fruits and vegetables and other such produce would go to waste, they're also encouraging people to go into agro processing. So you take it a step up, you add value to the primary produce, so that it becomes more value to you at the end of it all, and it is more perishable at the level where it's either canned or processed for a longer shelf life. We should also create greater linkages between the farmers at home and the people here who are interested in bringing those produce to this market. A lot of Jamaicans here, I think, are in the distributive trade. We need more. We need people who are also selling these primary products to expand, spread their wings, go to visit these farms, farmers, establish, as I said before, one-on-one contact with them. So as we are developing at home the quality of the products, and we're expanding in terms of quantity, if we have, on the other hand, here in this country, a greater emphasis on the distributive side of the trade, Jamaicans getting in there and getting the produce on the retail side, I think we would be much, much better served. I also think that Jamaicans here would have a very good opportunity if they were to convert some of the foreign currency and to invest in agriculture themselves. So that they can have the linkages, direct linkages, backward and forward, ensuring that whatever they produce can come to this market, which is their home. And similarly, things like ackee, that is very much in demand here, and there is a great opportunity because of the trading links between Jamaica and Canada. Those trading links were established by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. So government has worked to open those doors, and I think more Jamaicans need to utilize those opportunities, because we are not even denting
The surface.
by a fraction the type of capacity that exists for the entry of our products here. Let's face it, if, for example, we could open the doors for coffee, cocoa, it can be done, but we need to utilize our collective strengths, both here and there, with the producers and the importers, to better enable the people at home to modify and to bring the necessary adjustments to the end products that would satisfy the demand and satisfy the standards, the quality standards in this country. Our products are world renowned, and we need to find greater niches, because not many of our products will compete well in the mass market. So whilst they are better in quality, we won't be able to compete on quantity and volume, because those who can compete on volume will always outperform. So we need to work harder, I think, at developing the niche products and fitting into niches. For example, our ginger. Our ginger is the best in the world.
That's true.
But we shouldn't be competing in the mass side of the market. Sorrel, pimento, bananas. Our bananas are amazing. Again, it shouldn't be competing in the mass side of the market. So I think if we begin to look more closely at how we do what we do, Scotch bonnet peppers and so on, we do have amazing products.
Well, a question to you, sir, for one of our viewers that are watching right now. Let's say I want to do this. How does the Jamaican Consulate help me to get that going? Because maybe I don't know where to go. How do I find this information?
Here in this office, we have a group called JAMPRO.
JAMPRO. And they're located in this office?
Right here.
Oh, okay,
and
good
so
to know.
Mr. Vivian Scully and Margaret, both of whom are here, Margaret Walker.
Mm-hmm.
They are here to develop investment in Jamaica,
Okay.
encourage investment in Jamaica. And so if you are interested in doing any type of investment in Jamaica, big or small, they'll be in a position to assist you, to guide you through the process, and to pretty much cut a long road short.
Okay.
So if you had to do it all yourself, it probably would take you a little longer. With JAMPRO's help, they would guide you to all the places you need to interface with, all the documentation and so on that you need in a very short period of time.
Okay, thank you.
And they're very good at it.
Hold on thought there. Thank you very much, Mr. Wilks.
You've heard it here in College Talk, the Sue and Sue Talk Show, reaching beyond the boundaries of social growth. We'll be right back. Thank you.